Happy Fragrant Friday, Fraghead. Hey everybody, this is Ben here at That Cologne Guy, coming at you with a new review. How are you doing, my friends? I hope you have a fragrant Friday, and I also hope you have a wonderful weekend. My name is Ben, this is That Cologne Guy, and I have new content for you every single Friday. You've seen the title and the description, so you know I am checking out none other than Montblanc Emblem Intense, the first of a few fragrances that I'm reviewing from subscriber JP, who reached out and wanted to send me some fragrances. I've said it before, I won't take too much of the intro to do it, but you guys are incredible and you just keep sending me so much stuff. And JP, I really do appreciate you sending these in, and I'm excited about the other ones to review in the near future. So this one is a really, really fun one because this one is different in many ways. This is a 2014 release. And it's also, I think it's, I don't know about the first, but it's very rare that I'm reviewing an aromatic spicy. So this is an aromatic spicy. And then if I'm not mistaken, this is either my first or I just didn't happen to notice it, fragrance that I'm reviewing by the Parfumé Sonia, and it looks like Constant. So I don't know if it's Constant or Constant. So the first time or the first time that I recall reviewing a fragrance by that Parfumé. The other thing I want to say is right off the bat, this one is going to be tied closely to 1 Million by Paco Rabanne, which of course, yeah, I know, I see you rolling your eyes, which is quite divisive and fragcom. I definitely like it. I don't understand why it's divisive. I think it's jealousy. I've always said that. People don't like a lot of fragrances that make it big because they smell great. 1 Million's awesome. So, of course, I want you to know that because I want you to know I do really like this one a lot. But I also want to say that I do not think it is a dupe. I would call this inspired by 1 Million, and I'll talk a little bit more about that after the notes. But I wanted to put that out there from the very beginning. I concede I like sweet fragrances, I like cinnamon, and I like 1 Million. So, I mean, I'm really going to like this one. It's hard for me to understand how someone couldn't like it, but I wanted to get that out there. All right, so for the notes, I want you to go to Fragrantica and I want you to read the note breakdown because this is another one of those fragrances that just has a ton. However, I do want to say that here's what I got out of it on the top and the base. From the initial blast, you definitely get a lot of grapefruit and cardamom. That's not even a close call there. You get a lot. And then in the base, you get a lot of tonka and woodsy notes, or / woody notes. And so that's all good. But I really think this one here shines in the mid. Or really, maybe not shines, but I mean, it does for me. But it really shows off its mid notes. Cinnamon, rose, apple, violet leaf. That's an important one. And nutmeg. And you can really sense that coming through. Some people have talked about a metallic quality, and I think that's the violet leaf poking through. And I mentioned the cinnamon rose because I love that combination. And then the apple with the grapefruit up in the top really, really do add quite a bit to the fragrance. So this one is a fruity, sweet, and fresh, slightly subtle though, fragrance. So that's going to be very appealing to a lot of people because a lot of people love the sweet fragrances, but they just can't handle the explosive element to them where they project all day and are in longevity and sillage are just off the charts. Some people like something more subtle, but it is still fresh and sweet. This would be right up your alley. And again, let me come back to the 1 Million. You can hear some of these notes. It is inspired by 1 Million. I do not, as I said earlier, do not think that this is a clone or a dupe. I would like to have both, no problems. However, I would say this: if you like Montblanc, if you like 1 Million, then you will like this. If you don't like 1 Million because you find it too synthetic, or you find it too beast mode. It projects too much for you. The longevity and the sillage are just too much for you. It gives you a headache inducing. This is something that might work for you because it's close enough, and yet I found it subtle to the point that I'm actually going to dock it a little bit because I don't know why they're calling it intense. They're getting on the intense train, which is really, really, really had its time, passé, and is quite annoying. So this one is a couple things I wanted to throw out for you when it comes to the 1 million. All right. So, but when you hear the notes, and if you've watched me over the years, you know that it's pretty much right up my alley. I've thoroughly enjoyed this one, and it comes from a great house, a great company. Montblanc, of course, is known for the Meisterstück pen. They are famous for their writing instruments initially. Then they went on for, and I actually enjoy watches as well, and they do quite well with luxury watches. I like Montblanc fragrances. I've had a good run with them. I really do enjoy those fragrances quite a bit, and this one is no exception whatsoever. This one is the definition for me of very, very good. I've enjoyed wearing it. I really like the note combinations. I like the fact that it's fruity. I like the fact that it's sweet, and I like the fact that it's also fresh, and yet relatively subtle. That's the part I personally don't know that I care for. If I didn't have money for 2, I would probably just go ahead and get 1 million if you're looking for something that's going to really stand out at clubs and get a lot of attention. That said, let's be honest. 1 million came out, was it 06? I think it was. Maybe 08. But either way, the mid-2000s, so it's had its time. So you're probably not wearing 1 million to the club anymore unless you're approaching 40. So, anyway, I wanted to point that out. Now, let's get to some of the grumpiness. Longevity, projection, and sillage for an intense fragrance does not shine. I was not happy with that. And if you are coming in and out of the outdoors, even if it's something like walking your dog for a half hour, this fragrance is going to really take a hit. Did not care for that. I'm always clamoring to try to smell myself after about the 4-hour mark, and I'm just not getting what I want out of that. So the longevity was 4 to 6 hours, and the projection was about the same. I'll go maybe 3 to 4. Maybe you can convince me 5. Sillage would be decent. I actually found this sillage to be decent, so when you're walking by somebody, they will probably be able to pick it up. Yeah, for the same, I'll go 4 to 6 hours, actually. So sillage wasn't disappointing, but again, if you're going to call yourself, if you're going to call yourself an intense version, then you should be intense. Okay? So that's how I feel about that. Now, when it comes to the seasons, this one would be a fall, winter, spring, and I don't see this with the tonka and the woody notes and the patchouli that's in it. I don't know. Suede is in it. I don't know that you would go full on, the heat of the summer for a fragrance like this. So if it's not necessarily for the 365 days a year person. As far as gender, this one is pretty close to unisex. Actually, I would say. It's masculine and it's very sexy. Actually, I love the note breakdown is really great, and I love the fact that it's an aromatic spicy because it was something different. So I do think it's not generic, but when it comes to the gender, I do think that this would probably be, as it plays out in the market, I'm going to go 2/3 split. I'm going to go 66% there will be a man and 34% will be the ladies. A woman could pull this off. I would call this a masculine release barely. I think it's just over the out of the unisex category, and I would put this at a 66-34 split on gender. As far as age, it is a youthful, but see that's the problem, right? It is a more youthful clubbing scent, but then it's also going to have a lot of people who love 1 million who are now approaching 40. Just wait, and Okay, so in some ways, like it's going to be more for the bros in their 20s, but then in actuality, I can see this being bought for a lot of Father's Days and things like that. So I'm gonna go 20 and up on age. I do think this is going to be, especially all over the charts. Guys, some guys, regardless of age, like sweet fragrances, and so they're going to buy this because of that, if nothing else. And I forgot to mention earlier, I wanted to mention, some people complain about the fecal note in 1 million. I don't get that at all, but some people have stated that that's why they don't like it. This one doesn't have that, so that might be another reason that you would get this over 1 million, if or that you would get this even if you don't like 1 million. All right, so versatility. This one it's got rose, it's got cinnamon, it's got apple, it's got grapefruit, it's got tonka, it's got suede, it's got patchouli. It's really just all over the map. Coriander was listed. I like that about this one, and I found it highly, highly versatile. I had one day where I dressed up a little bit. I'm pretty informal, but I dressed up a little bit, and I felt like I was rocking the juice. And then on other days like this, I equally feel the same. So I really like the versatility factor about this one. And this one has been a really easy review, actually. This one is back to my normal reviews that are just really, I lock in on a number and I just stay there. And this one is what a 4 out of 5 sprays looks like. It is just really, really good. I can't say it's jaw-dropping and eye-popping. I can't say that. I just want to say that it's been great. I really, really, really like it a lot. And I'm going to take off one spray, if nothing else, because again, from what I said earlier, call yourself intense and then you're known for being subtle. That doesn't work. It's not going to mesh well, and you don't want that for your marketing anyway. You want to reserve the word intense for intense fragrances. So I'm going to dock them a spray for this one, for that point alone. And then I would just add also, again, that it is relatively unique. There's a lot going on that is an aromatic, spicy, all the notes that are all over the place. I really do like that. And it's inspired by, it's similar to 1 million, so all those things point to why it deserves a 4 out of 5. But I just can't say that it meets the threshold for the 5 out of 5 spray mark, because it doesn't have that, like, I'm completely addicted to smelling my wrist feel. It just smells very, very good. So 4 out of 5 sprays for Montblanc Emblem Intense. I don't think there's ever been any Montblanc that I did not like, actually, and this one just keeps that going. So I'm going to go 4 out of 5. JP, thanks so much for sending this in. I really appreciated that. And by the way, I want to say too, he also sent right over here a lot of notes for each one. He made some notes, and I just really, really enjoyed going through his notes. And I also yesterday reread the letter, and I just really appreciate his take on that. So thanks for sending these in. And I'm going to go one on each side of the neck, and one on each wrist. 2014, Sonia Constant, or Constant, Montblanc Emblem Intense. Boom. Boom. Think I have enough. And I do. There you have it. Another review by the boards. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful week. Thanks for watching the episode, and always remember, my friends, fragrance marks the celebration of today. Take care, everybody. Okay, so welcome to the bonus feature. I just wanted to go over 3 quick points that I did not mention in the episode. Number 1 is the price. It looks like it has been discontinued, because if you look at the online, most of the prices where it's currently actually available, not where you click and then it's out of stock, but where it's actually available, I saw between $100 and $125 for a regular size 100 milliliter bottle. So that tells me that it has been continued. The second thing I wanted to say was I touched on earlier during the episode on the fact that I really like Montblanc fragrances in general. And so I wanted to ask you, what is your favorite Montblanc fragrance? And mine actually is Individuel, which looks like individual, only instead of an AL at the end, it's an EL. So Individuel is a very sweet grape popsicle delight. I loved Individuel, and I definitely, if I ever did a top 10 list of most unsolicited compliments, it would easily make my top 10. I got a ton of compliments on that one, and I just absolutely loved that fragrance. I found it addicting. So yeah, let me know your favorite Montblanc if you can. And then along the same lines, the last point was I wanted to ask you, if you don't have too much to say about this particular fragrance or any Montblanc fragrances, let me know your scent and or sense of, so scent of the day or sense of the week. And what do you think about this one? Have you tried this one? What are your thoughts on this fragrance? And if nothing else, you can always let me know if you like the sweet ones or not. I know a lot of people are in the no category, and the rose is going to be a deal breaker for some of the bros out there. Not for me, though. I really like that note in men's fragrance. Wanted to add those points. You take care, and I look forward to seeing you next week.